Hi, friends. I am Pastor Michelle at Harmony Creek Church. And I wanted to finish up this book, Make Good Trouble, with one more passage to read. And I thank you for joining us for some of these different topics and different people that we got to hear about that made good trouble. So the writer of this book is Jamia Wilson. And so she concludes with this, fighting for the future. So she says, "You met my mother at the beginning of this story. In honor of the way she lived, I'm going to give Mama, the person who introduced me to John Lewis and his motto, get in good trouble, the last word, because she would not have it any other way. Mama is going to take us off these pages and out into the world." So early on, Mom used to say, "No one is going to come to save us. We need to save ourselves." When other adults at dinner parties would try to kick tween-age me out of political discussions and back to the kids' table, Mom would simply wink approval when others would try to shoo me away and remind me of my place outside of being seen and heard. But I have learned the value of standing my truth with a tall backbone and a strong, open heart if I have something important to say. I always wanted to sit at the table with the people who could vote, so I could influence them. If I disagreed with someone, I liked to listen to understand their motivations as I discerned my own beliefs. I didn't know it then, but I had a knack for strategy and influencing the officials who made decisions that impacted me, and it still comes in handy today. I return to this memory as each day unfolds with grim reminders of the ongoing suffering endured by communities worldwide, in a landscape of crisis, war, economic injustice, and equality. As an American who spent her formative years abroad, I've experienced firsthand how connected we all are, no matter where we live. It's a reminder that we can't afford to be bystanders, watching injustice and doing nothing, but rather catalysts for change, bearers of hope, and creative architects of a greater tomorrow, made better when we work together and embrace our empathy to achieve this. The echoes of history resound with the voices of those who dared to challenge the status quo, who dared to confront injustice and envision a more just and equitable world. One voice I didn't mention in the book, but has been in my ear throughout its development, stands out. Anne Frank, eternally 15 years old, whose words pierce through the time with a timeless urgency. How wonderful it is that nobody needs to wait a single moment before starting to improve the world. Anne's story is a testament to the power of resilience, defiance, and hope. Despite the darkness that enveloped her world, she refused to be silenced, penning her truth and shaping the course of history with her words. Her legacy reminds us that even in the darkest times, our voices can ignite change and illuminate paths to a brighter future. But it isn't just about looking to the past for inspiration. It's about finding our own voice, paths, and ways to make a difference. It's about recognizing that each of us has a role in the ongoing struggle for justice, equality, and liberation. Whether it's through joining grassroots movements, volunteering to help others in need, speaking out against injustice, making influential art with a message, or advocating for change. There are countless avenues for young people to make their mark on the world. At the time of this publication, there are over 100 armed conflicts plaguing the world, with women, children, disabled people, poor people, and other vulnerable populations bearing the brunt of the effects of violence, hunger, and the abuses of power. We have a lot of work to do to transform what needs healing and what needs fixing, and history has shown us that those most closely affected know the roots of what is required. We and the rest of the world must listen to and amplify these voices, an important step we can all take that costs nothing but our courage and our hearts. So let's be guided by the belief that our collective efforts, no matter how small, can ripple outward and shape history. As the young people in this book showed us, there is another way, even if we can't see it yet. There is another way that we can envision the change long before we see it blossom into its fullest power. Your stories matter no matter where you live or how old you are. I believe in you, your power, and the role people of all ages can play in shaping a future where none of us are left behind or on the sidelines. Looking back on my journey from the young person who was shooed away and still took a stand, to the woman I am today, I admire and respect the leadership of next generation voices in authoring the next chapter in human history. So I ask you, how will you remake the world? Your voice, actions, passion, and commitment to justice are needed now more than ever. So let us unite in solidarity and determination to build a world that is truly worthy of all who inhabit it, on a planet deserving of our full respect, attention, and love. You've got this. Because as always, we've got this. God bless you, my friends, and let's continue to be good troublemakers.